All right, thank you for joining us for the special council meeting set for January 5th, 2026. Please forgive me, my voice is gone. We're going to do the best we can tonight, so thank you for your patience with that. I've asked Mike Challenberg to lead us in our invocation and Doug Brewer in the pledge. Please stand.
Father, we thank you for loving us, for caring for us. Father, you're amazing and you do so many wonderful things, so many good things that we get to be involved with and we are beneficiaries of. Father, we want to pray for our country and our world. Father, there's lots going on and many things are concerning. Father, we just pray your guidance. And Father, in the things of this city, we ask for wisdom. We ask that we would do the things that are best for our people. Father, we just ask for that. And Father, we ask that you'd forgive us when we fail you. In Jesus' name,
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jason, please call the roll when you're ready.
Mr. Kirkman? Mr. Morris?
Here.
Mr. Howell?
Here.
Mr. Cardle?
Here.
Mrs. Hale? Mr. Rainey?
Yes,
Mr. Brewer?
Here.
Mr. Challenger?
Here.
Not failed to hit my gavel. Or call to order. We only have one item on the agenda this evening. That is a consideration of adoption of the 2026 budget. Jason, appreciate all your hard work, as well as the council and department heads on this process. I know, Jason, you've received some questions over the past several weeks, so I trust that all of that information has been distributed out. So I will just open it up. If there's anything specifically you want to cover this evening, Jason, or any questions?
I will just say that since it was presented to you last, we got our actual insurance bills on our property and our vehicles. The property adjustment, it was $3,858 more than what I had in the budget, and then the vehicle budget, the rates were flat, but because we had added some things through the year, it was $19,553 more. So you'll see that reduction to the excess revenues. We also had discussion about doing a bathroom renovation with Berry Hill Park, with that about to open in the spring. Jeff and Mike and Damon put together some numbers to try to come up with a good estimate. Our staff can do the upgrades and the renovations. They came up with approximately $35,000, and then whatever's not used at Berry Hill, they can do on the restroom at Spring Park. So for 2 bathrooms for about the $35,000.
And just clarify, Jason, that's the existing restroom
It is.
facility. That's close to where the former sand volleyball pit used to be.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you look at your summary page on page 1, essentially that with those 3 changes, that brings the excess revenue over expense to $1,780,116 as you see it today.
Well, Jason, I want to tell you how much I appreciate all the work you have done, because I sent you a bunch of questions and you helped and everything. I still have some questions about various budgets. I don't know if anyone else does, but I'm not ready to approve the budget now. I'd like to ask some questions. Again, I don't know if anyone else does, but I do.
I also sent you some, and thank you for the answers that I received. How are you gonna do this? Because I have a couple questions too.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, whatever you like.
Actually, it's not for you.
Not for me?
Department
Okay.
head.
All right,
Okay,
yeah.
sure, yeah.
Absolutely.
We're all here to.
Todd, do you mind coming up?
Ms. Hale, I was going to follow up, simply say I had a few questions. And I feel like it would be more appropriate for the department heads to possibly answer. Thank you.
What page is this in?
32.
I think I got it with me, I'll make sure. we're on the same page.
Just let me know when you're ready. Okay. So I had emailed Jason about your overtime request of 80,000.
Yes, ma'am.
And my concern is that we asked the police and fire to bring theirs down to 50, to try to keep it closer to 50. And he gave me an explanation as to why and the difference between sanitation and police and fire, but I still think 80,000 is excessive. So can you talk to us about that?
Well, when I first, we've cut it way back since when I've got here, and we come in about 80 last year. I'm trying to see where we was at, this one doesn't have it back in 24. But we've cut it every year, and I feel like 80,000 is a good number by the time you count in for the holiday cleanups, the White County cleanups. I actually have those tracked. We operate the office from 7 to 4. If everybody's on schedule, it's not much overtime, but I don't leave the office unattended, so we occasionally have a few extra hours for that. My overhead drivers, if either one of the three is ever on vacation, we can have some of those guys getting up to 60 hours just to keep the trash picked up. But now, I wish we had how much of the overtime we have cut since I've been here, and we have also cut employee numbers at the same time. I felt like last year we came in good, and I felt like asking in again, because I watch it. They're not just getting overtime to make hours. We're trying to generate revenue or keep our offices open and keep the phone answered.
That was my other question, because we did some shuffling of employees, correct? A little bit?
Yes.
So could we realistically look at 50,000?
I think it would hurt me on the commercial pickup. When you look at it, I'll be glad to break it down into more detail, but very little of that goes to the office. Most of that is gonna consist of my overhead drivers and the cleanups, which, you know, we have 10 guys out there almost all weekend, and we have the roll-off drivers that run late. That we spend 20 or 30,000 a year helping White County with that cleanup. If it was easy, I would have done it. I promise you
No,
that.
I
I really looked at
understand.
overtime hard when I got here.
I mean, we have 2 emergency services that we talked to about trying to watch their budgets, and
Right.
this one came in at 80, and I was like, hang on
Right.
just a second.
I wish I had the number that what we had came from though. So we cut it really hard back for last year.
So Kim, would it be too much to ask if we could get maybe quarterly reports, because we had talked about that at one time anyway for overtime and comp time, just so we can kind of watch it in 26?
She usually gives me one. I mean, we have tracked it all.
Department heads do get them.
Yeah.
But yes.
But we ask at one time as well, so we could kind of,
Okay.
because I don't want to be unfair to any department in the city. I want to make sure that everybody's able to cover what needs to be covered.
I got a couple of questions. Down here on the residential container and the dumpster and everything, for the last couple of years, we've been during the year adding to the budget so you could buy some more. So is this a budgeted amount to kind of keep you current on an annual basis?
That's what I feel like will keep us current and keep us up to date.
Okay.
And
back-
just from past spending is where I pulled the numbers from.
Okay. Back up here on the vehicle, you're going to a lease system, correct?
Yes.
And that 486,000 is gonna lease what?
Three new sidearms and 3 new overhead trucks.
Is that gonna be able to reduce the mechanical repair expense for your budget?
Yes, sir.
And how long will we have these 6 under lease? A year,
2 years.
2 years?
2 years.
Then we renew it.
get another lease. I mean, we either can buy those trucks or turn them back in and get new trucks.
I'm assuming you've taken your old figures about repair and about replacement, and this $486,000 is gonna be a better deal for us leasing rather than owning and repairing?
Yes, sir, I think so. And I've looked at the trucks and what it costs. And when they're new, they're not as bad. As they get older, the repairs get more expensive, but the downtime is what's the killer for us. You just don't have people that can work on these new trucks anymore.
And could I interject too? I did a cost analysis on that very question you asked. And in the amount of money we spent on a lease in 8 years, the final 2 years, he's saved in repair costs and mechanical problems. So out of a 10-year lease, 2 of those have been paid for by reduced maintenance and things like that. So it works out to be good.
So under the terms of the lease, if one of these go down, the leasing company repairs it, or we?
Well, they'll be under warranty.
Okay.
These trucks, the way I've got the first stages of the lease is just, our trucks will be under warranty during the whole 2-year period.
And where's the warranty work done, by us or?
By them. They will use our shop and come up. I've even got, in this budget is included a service policy for each truck, or if we got something that, well, you didn't put the right oil in this, no, you didn't put the right oil in it, I'm paying you to come and service these trucks. So we will basically be putting a driver in the seat, we'll be putting the DEF and diesel in it. These have actually even have automated greasers on it. We put in a grease tube and it automatically greases the truck for us. I was familiar with this, you know, in my past job, and just trucks are very complicated to work on. They can set, even these trucks we've got now, sometimes it's 3 weeks before we can get the parts in and get them repaired.
And I'm gonna circle back around on Ms. Hale's question. Would you be agreeable to set the overtime at 50,000 to start out the year? You've never been shy about coming to the council to ask for additions to your.
Well, I'll give you the best number that I thought, but I'll try anything. I'll be more than willing to put an effort in it. And, but it seems like to get my overtime down, I have to hire more people. And then you have that extra person for $40,000 or $50,000 that you don't really need him for that. So come over, I'll be glad to, I'll agreeable to anything. But this is, we worked hard on it last year. We worked at, I look at it every month. I figure overtime. Every time I approve payroll, I figure what percentage is, and I track it pretty good, but I'll give it my best shot.
Well, I don't think we've ever turned you down when you came.
No,
to
I agree.
But I'm kinda.
I just don't want you to think I just pulled a number. I mean, this is second year tracking on, and 3 years of me tracking this, and just when you hire a driver, sometimes it takes 3 weeks to a month to get him trained. So you've got 2 drivers in the truck, and it just adds up pretty quick. And then we did open up we have opened up more hours now. We're staying late one day, which Bobby's done a real good job on the schedule, but you know, if somebody's on vacation that week, somebody needs to stay and help keep the phones answered and the gate open.
And we're definitely not saying no overtime. We're just saying, can we?
Come in, I'll be agreeable to that.
And how much overtime did you say you had on the cleanup? 20, 30,000?
About around 20,000. I can send you,
That's on-
we track it every year.
Is that on one of them or both of them?
Both of them,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's a good activity, I can tell you.
Right, but it does cost to have a crew out there all weekend, and then we stay late and haul those boxes late in the evening. And my roll-off drivers, when they get busy, they can't get it done in 8 hours either. And last year, the only part of my revenue line that we was off a little bit was in the roll-off part. And who knows, I mean, with interest being down, I look for, you know, the homes to start, business start back up, and that's hard to keep up with, in just 40 hours.
Is the drive-through recycling still going well?
Just busy, had a real busy day today.
I'd like to commend your staff because it looks great as we're driving through to drop that stuff off.
No, we do have, we
Oh, it
got some
looks-
really good guys
it looks
working back
good.
there. We got a little overwhelmed today after the Christmas rush came in, and we had a little bit of machinery breakdown, but, I really got some good guys working back there.
How many, employees did you cut from 24 to 25?
Five. I think it's around five.
5.
And that's why I'm just being cautious on overtime, because we cut back pretty good. And what I planned on doing was bringing in a little bit during like leaf season. You know, we really get busy this time of year, and I just don't have, so I'll bring in a little temporary, then when we get caught up, we let those guys go do something else, but we'll probably settle in around 35 employees from, I think, around 44 when I got here.
So Todd, you cut 4 to 5 employees this past year?
Yes.
What was that on the budget?
You're looking at between 45,000 with your tax and acres and all that. So, yeah, when you cut 4 to 5 people, you're taking 200,000 out of your personnel, and then using 80,000 in overtime to backfill that to get the same amount of work done with less people.
2024 was actual 1.7, and we're budgeted for 26 for 1.4.
But did you?
So that's the reason I'm a little cautious on cutting back too much overtime. I'll be glad to do it and try, but we've made a pretty big cut.
Didn't those employees go to another department?
Some of them did, some of them have retired, and just, we've not just, yeah.
How many did we retain?
How many went to street? 2?
We didn't have any that come from the sanitation.
Not the actual personnel, we're talking about the cost,
That's right.
yeah. And yes, sir.
Mr. Howell must have been reading my mind over here, because I was gonna ask that exact question. Did we cut some of the employees, which y'all have discussed, or not, we've reduced them? But the other thing is, we need to all bear in mind, one thing is sanitation department is a revenue producer for the city. And pretty well, it's most significant, if not the only revenue producer. But, if you're willing to cut this overtime down some, like Mr. Rainey and Ms. Hale suggested, you know, you get in a bind, like Mr. Rainey said, we've never turned it down.
I understand.
You know.
Yes.
One thing I wanted to mention with his guaranteed buyback release equipment program is that now we know what our costs are annually, okay? As opposed to having big chunks that come out from year to year.
Right.
So because of that, we can now quickly look at the revenue that it's projected to bring in, which is a little over 5.9 million, as opposed to the estimated cost at 5.2. So we're clearly in the black, and that accounts for these vehicles. And plus, we have new vehicles that we'll be using.
Exactly.
So it's
Instead of
possible.
waiting and having to buy all these at one time, in the way they tracked them, it was hard to really keep up with your proper P&Ls, as I would call them, the way you'd have to throw in 2 trucks. Now, we know what we're gonna spend on trucks.
My feeling on the overtime is either you're gonna have to hire full-time people, have on staff all the time to do the work, or fill the gap with overtime. And it looks to me like you've done your best to
Well, I
about
do
the
try.
best for us.
I do try, and I will try.
I know, I
Right.
appreciate it too.
Right, but we did cut, the part that scares me is the 1.7, even with the wage increases, we've came down 300,000, so.
You're doing a great job, Todd.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions?
I've got some for the city attorney.
Yes, sir.
I have a little concern about increasing your budget to pay some other attorney to go to court for you.
Okay.
How many times a month are you in court for the city?
Four times a month, 48 times a year.
Your private practice is sometimes preventing you from being available 4 times a month?
My private practice doesn't have anything to do with the request.
Okay, explain your request.
I'm individually responsible for appearing somewhere 48 times a year. Life in general calls me to be sick or have to miss or have to, in April, I'm filling in for the White County Prosecuting Attorney's Office because they're gonna be gone. They asked me to stand in for them, so I have to ask somebody to stand in for them. The request mirrored what I asked for in 2023 and then removed it. I'm thinking, I don't quite understand the question. I'm trying to figure out a way to.
Well, the 24 budget had $14,160 for contract services. In 25, you spent $13,267 today.
Yes, sir. And that was out of, that's $6,000 and $7,000 respectively under budget for some administrative services help that was deployed I had to secure over 100 easements on Fuller Lane, Sawmill Road. I've got 14 pending foreclosure actions. So that is where those administrative services were deployed.
By paying who?
A staff person.
So up in the salaries where you're wanting $70,901, that is not just for you, that's for other people?
No, there's only one salary. There's only ever been one salary. And we moved money up there because for 8 consecutive years, legislative audit suggested that needed to take place. And last year was the first year that my office did not receive a flag from legislative audit for the ways and funds funds. In 2023, we moved approximately 16,000 or 18,000 that was coming to me up and added it, and that's how we arrived at the 70. And then we added the $20,000 for some administrative services, of which I've used $13,000 a year and $14,000 a year. Directly on city business. I mean, there's those are invoices or reimbursement requests made monthly.
Well, maybe I misunderstood the request, because somewhere I saw the wording, it was to pay somebody to go to court when you couldn't. Am I dreaming?
Well, yeah, no, I would love for that. That is part of this, is to have some resources available to help me at times when I have no backup. Like, there's zero backup. And it's not money for me, and it's not guaranteed to be expended. The only personal remuneration increase that I've received in 3 years has been just the cost of living adjustments. Money moved around in the budget, yes, it did do that, but I have not received any additional remuneration, nor have I asked for it. I don't want any additional remuneration. I'm just asking for the office to have some resources.
Maybe I'm not understanding the figures. You got $20,000 in the 25 budget.
And I'm asking for 40 next year. That is not money for me.
So will the 69,361 that was budgeted in 25 that went to 70,901, that's the cost of living raise for?
Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't make
Yes.
that. I wouldn't have requested that. I made it.
So I know you've been busy on the Sawmill and Fuller Lane stuff, easements and know we got a bunch of properties we need to get foreclosed, and you said we had 14 cases pending.
All are gonna have to be, I'm gonna have to request service by warning order or extended the time for service. 13 or 14 of them are all deceased people. I haven't been able to find anybody. If you would like it, I've got some really good research that I've done that shows, that gives you some good per capita and peer city information on, like, on the funding of the city attorney's office. And all of it makes, like, the requests being made seem just very minor. Like, the degree to which Cersei's off the wrong end of the scale with respect to the office, and I took the office as it comes, right, and I totally acknowledge that. But on a reasonableness scale, the request and the funding for the office and things of that nature, I've got some really good research that I'd be happy to provide all of you that illustrates kind of where we've been, where we are today, and kind of where we would be if adopted.
How many actions did you say are pending? Foreclosure or not?
13 or 14.
How many been executed in the last year?
Those are all filed when, I don't know, it's been several months ago, probably 4 months ago. And then the time passed for service, and I filed for an extension of time, which is a prudent thing to do, and then I'm gonna have to publish service by warning order. That's all civil litigation stuff, but there's 14 pending foreclosure actions.
I think we got about $80,000 in liens filed of White County records, and that's more than just 14 tracts of property.
Yeah, I mean, these are the oldest ones. And then the other thing I'll mention is that, like, the goal for the request is to keep the money in district court, and I think that, not today, but tomorrow, but as has been articulated, like, this is a more than budget neutral request. The revenue increase in district court is going to more than offset the request of the additional funds needed.
Explain the change. I know that Jason has
Yes,
mentioned.
I forget the number, 371?
371.
Has changed the way the fees out of district court are distributed between the state and the city. And by no doing, I mean, it's the state legislature's doing, not my own, but the net to the city is an increase in approximately $100,000 a year in revenue to support district courts. And if you look at the volume of district court cases, this year's gonna be short of 5,000, but last year was over 5,000, so on average, almost 5,000 cases a year. And it feels like 5,000 phone calls today, because I've got court tomorrow. But, yeah, so, I mean, the request is timely in the sense of there is a way to support the request, fivefold, and I'm only asking for a portion of that.
So you're asking to go from 20,000 in this contract services to 40,000, correct?
That is correct.
We had a city attorney budget back in 2022, just over 80,000. And now we're up to 136,000. That's a $55,000 increase in the city attorney budget. And I just didn't understand where all that needed to go. I hear you, I heard you.
And I'm happy to provide you the research I've done, and you could double that number, and it would still be on the wrong end of the scale of reasonableness with respect to the funding of a city our size and the caseload our size, and that's why I feel comfortable making the request. It's not excessive in any way when you compare it to, on a per capita basis or on a peer city basis, or.
Well, do we need a full-time attorney?
Well, that's a major horse of a different color, because if you're saying that you've got questions over 140 $130,000, I forget what number you said, $130,000 budget, you gotta contemplate what a full-time city attorney would cost, and then they would need to provide them staff. So you're looking at far more money. I'm comfortable with my office. I feel like I discharge my duties admirably. I'm just asking for some resources to help that I think in the long run certainly benefit the city, and from a financial perspective. So if the discussion was overdue, we need a full-time city attorney, that diverges from what's in the best financial interest of the city, because it's gonna cost you money. So I think that's me saying no. I think for $20,000, you can solve a lot of the problem that would cost you a whole lot more money to solve if you took it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion on this one? Thank you, Don. Thank you, Will. All right, any additional questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Ask, Parks and Rec, a couple questions.
What page are you looking at? You know?
I do not know, because I'm looking in my folder that was not
It's
numbered.
not numbered.
Jason, do you have the number, Parks and Rec?
It starts on 23.
Thank you.
So, Mike,
Yes, sir.
part of my question is, am I reading this right?
Okay.
Because there's a probability I'm not. Okay, so, under City of Searcy proposed 26 budget revenues, you've got Rialto admissions and Rialto concessions and Rialto advertisement.
Yes, sir.
Well, the first question is, Rialto advertisement is a revenue?
Yes, people will pay to have their brand or their business
Okay.
on the screen before the movie starts.
All right, that answers that. Those three, the advertisement, the admissions, and the concessions, are those the only three sources of revenue for the Rialto?
Yes, because we do consider when we rent it out for parties, that's built into that, so there's not a separate line item for that. That goes into that, those
Okay.
items.
So those total $100,000.
Roughly, yes, sir. That's how it's kind of been every year.
So we go back over to expenses, and we're at 209,000. My question is, in the past, looking at Rialto, it sort of was a break even, maybe even scratched out a $8,000 or $10,000 profit here and there
Yes, sir.
annually.
Yes, sir.
Why the $100,000 loss all of a sudden?
That I cannot answer right now. I would have to look into that, because all our numbers pretty much, there's something up here, Jason. Yeah, please.
It's on page 29.
Thank you.
One thing that,
Now, the salaries it'll be a little higher for next year because we moved, we have the salaries for the lady running the Rialto used to come out of a different department, and now it's coming out of the Rialto.
But it reduced the Parks and Rec salary.
Correct.
But what we had was the IT director running the Rialto for a much smaller stipend.
Correct.
And we had an employee who was employed in Parks and Rec and being paid out of there. And we took part of that salary and moved it over to Rialto because she took over the full-time duties of running the Rialto. So the salary increased, but it reduced Parks and Rec.
right, that's
It's not
30,000.
Yeah, correct. It's not
So-
100,000.
It's not 100.
Well, the difference in expenses is 40, I think.
60 to 87?
Don't know where you're
69 to 209.
In salaries?
looking.
No, not salaries, total.
Total expenditure.
Okay, you're looking at,
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
yeah.
So, yeah, most
And
of
we
that
didn't
is
ask for
in the
anything
salary
extra.
line. You're right.
And we shot our revenues low too, across the board, because we didn't wanna say we're gonna make this much and come in at this much too, so we kind of flipped it. Not $100,000 different, but I would have to look into that more to give you a precise answer. Because we didn't ask for, on the Rialto, we only asked for, we actually dropped $1,000 on our line item, so we've asked for the exact same budget as last year, but 1,000 less.
You, say that again?
So on our line items for the Rialto, the
Yeah.
only thing we changed besides salaries is we actually dropped, electric utilities from 75 to 65. Everything else is the exact same as last year on what we're asking for.
No.
What page you're,
You have a new item, the HRA fund payments in there, new item.
That's that insurance.
I know, that's.
Supplies are up, building and grounds are up.
Building and grounds was 23,760 and 25, and it's 23,160 and 26. 60
Well, I started at 24 and it's,
Okay.
I'm sorry, yeah, so 24 was 18,549.
what page you on?
He's on 29. I haven't seen this, I'm just gonna know this will be turned into you.
Those numbers will be
Okay.
26 budget.
Okay. I can get these broken down for you, Mr. Carville, a lot better if it works.
Well,
Because there shouldn't be that big of a gap, because we normally can break even or a little in the black each year.
that's why I asked, because
Yes,
there's
sir.
never been that big a gap.
No, sir.
And that's, it stood out as a big gap, $100,000.
Uh-huh.
So that was my question.
I will get you an answer.
And the other question I have,
Yes, sir.
to make sure,
While you're looking, before we move on to Rialto, Mike, what exactly is the subscriptions and dues?
That's the
27,000?
licensing fees for the movies. We have to
That's
pay,
what I was
that's
thinking.
paying Brad Pitt. and
We have to
whoever
pay
else.
license and fees to get the movies.
Yes, sir, we do.
That's
And a
what that-
percentage off every ticket that we, 1/3 of every ticket we sell has to go back to the,
Right. It's not magazine subscriptions.
No, sir.
and newspapers and things like that, it's for the movies.
yes, sir.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mr. Carter.
no, you're good, of course. So, just on swimming pool,
Mm-hmm.
the header under swimming pool, I'm assuming is our current swimming pool, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
nothing else.
Yes, sir.
Couple things that stand out there. You
Sure.
bumped up, you doubled supplies and office supplies and just supplies and uniforms and
Contract labor.
contract labor is super high. And then what is the video board?
The video board is the big board when you walk in that displays the times. We could actually use it for some revenue to sell some advertising on there. It's for attracting swim meets. It's so when you, like in the Olympics, when they're swimming and they touch the pad at the end of the race, they can turn around and look up and see their time. We currently have one. You can't buy parts for it anymore. And they actually come out of one place in Colorado. It's the only place to buy it. And so we got a few different quotes on a new video board. And so the idea was to ask, see if we can find some sponsors, but I was gonna approach the council first, see if this is something they would wanna get on board with first. If not, then obviously I'll go look for some sponsors. But we can't buy parts and pieces for it anymore. It's shot.
Mike, Mr. Cargo alluded to the supplies down here, the office supplies went from 25 to 4,000, but the concession supplies tripled. What is the reason
So,
for that?
when we started this off last year, we didn't sell many concessions. We opened up full-blown concessions this year at the pool during the summer. And so this is just balancing out how much we went over. And same with the supplies, we went over a certain amount with office supplies, so that number just kinda is what we went over.
The concession
Cover that.
sale or expenses will turn into revenue.
Yes, sir, correct, absolutely.
Your contract labor of 364,000.
Yes. I was ready for this one. Okay, so this is something that we have not asked for before, and like you did with Mr. Phillips, I'm willing to do it either way. So what we did with contract labor at the pool in the past is we have a certain amount of slots for lifeguards. Once those are filled, we use contract labor. A lot of times we leave those open, because some of the lifeguards can only work 2 to 4 hours a week, and you don't want to fill a slot with that, so they become contract labor. Well, in the past, contract labor has always been paid out of salaries. But if we get into a spot where we're fully staffed and we're using all those hours, and we do have contract labor also, then that's gonna put me over in the salary line item. So this would be pulling contract labor totally out of salaries, and this is a guesstimate from what we've been weekly turning in to, Teresa.
How does this compare with contract labor from last year? Even though it's separated.
We didn't have
here.
any, we have not had it separated ever, it's always come out of salaries. And we've been
But you
fortunate.
don't have a record
No,
of
sir.
how much it was?
I mean, I could go back and dig it up and tell you exact numbers. From what we turned in Teresa, it could be, we can pull that up on Encode pretty easy.
Do you think we've had about this much before?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And last year was our biggest year ever, and we brought in more revenue than we ever had at the pool. And we plan on tweaking some more things, taking over some different classes to bring even more revenue in next year at the pool.
I got a couple of quick questions.
Yes,
You
sir.
Go to page 23.
Okay.
Under personnel, we've got another contract labor category.
Yes, yes, yes.
What would that be?
That went up to keep our consultant on for one more year.
Okay.
That's strictly, that's all that extra money would go for, is to keep him on. Damon and myself feel like, and I think the mayor can attest for it too, that he's been worth every penny. Hopefully in the next couple months, y'all are gonna see that exactly, but if we keep him on for one more year to get us through all the kind of bumps and hiccups, and then he'll step off at the end of next year, and then,
That's the consultant.
yes, sir. That's all that extra is for.
Drop on down to.
And to clarify, Mike, when you say bumps and hiccups, preparations for all the
Yes.
projects that are gonna be completed.
Absolutely. yeah.
Right, both revenue, operations,
Correct.
expenses.
Yeah, we plan on turning in a full budget to you in the next few months.
Building and grounds, the last one, property appraisal survey, $5,000. Do we need something surveyed or appraised?
That would have been, was that the yellow book one, Richard? I don't know what that would have been something we would have done this year with buying other properties, but that's nothing I need for next year, no, sir. That could come off.
All right. Then go to 24, capital expenditures, you're up, but you need mower and pickup trucks?
That could change some too. Obviously we were requesting more positions originally, and we scaled back, I'm sorry, this is yours, Jason. And we scaled back on that, so we would only need 1 pickup truck instead of 2 now.
Okay. Go to page 25, down in the Department of Miscellaneous.
And I wanna make sure that, I'm sorry, Mr. Rainey, I wanna make sure that we're capturing any changes
Yeah.
correctly, okay? Can we go back real fast? So, was it, 0800217 property appraisal survey for $5,000? Was that the previous one? And we're talking about taking that out completely, correct?
I don't need it.
Okay,
You know that
I'm
was-
sorry, I just make sure we have this right. And then the other one was the vehicles,
Yes, sir,
the pickup trucks, that's 0805301, currently at 104. So are we gonna say 50% of that?
yes, sir.
Okay,
I believe there was 3 vehicles on that request. One was a mid-size SUV for the Carmichael Center, and 2 trucks. So the request, and my suggestion would be just removal of 1 truck.
what would the value of that be, Damon?
Oh, I have it right here. We requested 2 trucks at 88,000, so 44,000.
So go from 104 to 88, is that what I heard?
Or take 44 off of that number.
Subtract 44 from the number shown.
60,000.
60 grand. So 104 to 60.
That was 69.
And then 44 plus 42 is 82.
I think I had this.
Come to. Here, let's do this for clarification. The number is currently at 104,000. What does the number need to be?
For one pickup,
70,000.
44. Yes,
That's for the two bids.
44 and 42.
Truck and midsize SUV.
70 grand.
40,000 and,
44.
yes, yes.
Okay, so the SUV's going to the Carmichael.
Yes, sir.
Where's the truck going?
It'll go to.
Recreation manager
Recreation manager.
Okay,
for running ball fields and trails.
thank you.
Say those two numbers one more time.
44,000 for the truck and 42,000 for the midsize SUV.
So that's 86,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've heard every number but 86.
Well,
That's right.
So the SUV isn't in this, the 104, I guess.
It is.
So would that maybe be under the Carmichael? Is there a,
It might be.
let's look over here.
Maybe in the Carmichael Jason. Which is right here.
The estimates that I received on the trucks, the one that I got last year was $38,000, and the midsize SUV was $26,000. That's the prices.
So we put the wrong one on here then.
So there's not a capital line.
There is not, no.
There's not. It wasn't on
Alright,
this
so
list.
86, correct?
You said 44. You said the SUV was 20.
86 is good.
Okay,
All right, so I have 5-080-53-01 going from 104,000 to 86,000.
And if
Thank
we
you.
can find it cheaper, then obviously we would swing go.
On page 25, down in the department miscellaneous, there's a brand new center programs amount of $20,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's that?
So I've had this in the past, we did not do it last year. Center programs is the money we use to run our center programs, our summer programs, the Easter egg hunt, all the things we do throughout the year, trick or treat.
Where have you been getting the money?
I pulled it out of supplies this year to make it, because with the new ordinance you have, it needs to come out of what it would be, and to me, those are supplies that we bought for the program, so I took them out of supplies, which is why I'm so over in supplies this year.
Okay. So this will be for those events you have at the Carmichael Center?
And we're gonna be doing a whole lot more. We're about to launch a whole health program, exercise class for adults, run year round.
Okay.
But that'll migrate to the new center.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And actually, the equipment that we got from the grant.
We're going to start here to the new center.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're starting in the next month or two, but we will carry it over to the new center.
Yeah, okay.
And then on page 26, I guess it's supplies going from 5,500 to 10,000. I see you spent right at 10,000 this
That's
year.
why we put 10, yes, sir.
Okay.
And that's just, paper and copiers
It's
and
on
all that stuff,
page
because we had a bigger influx of people come through this year. We used more
26, under
supplies.
building and grounds,
Oh,
there's a supplies.
0208.
okay, I'm with you.
You spent 10,036 so far. You had a 25 budget, 5,500, but wants to go to 10,000.
Which is why.
Okay. All right.
so Mike, what's the uniforms? It went up
Uniforms,
1,500.
it's, probably the same thing fire and PD do when you bring new people on. They stick around for a little bit, so you supply the uniform, and then they're gone in 2 months. Well, someone else comes in, we have to get them uniforms. We are doing a thing now where once they come on, they sign on and we train them, we have something they sign where they'll at least stay a year. So that should help with that.
Can you define uniforms?
Yes, yes,
Parks and Rec has everything from swimsuits to whatever, umpires.
Yes.
So what uniforms are you talking?
So swim center uniforms would be the guard suits, the fanny packs, the first aid supplies they need in their kits, as well as we give them 2 shirts and a pair of shorts. And then that's all we supply. But we do that for 40, 50 people a year. And we normally buy it in just kind of bulk in 2 sections. And then we just save the rest for whoever comes on next.
All right, page 28, you've got under soccer complex, you've got a soccer concessions new figure 25,000. Is that the same thing? We're doing more in the concession?
We have never had a soccer line item in the past, and we have taken over soccer concessions as of the fall. So it would be keeping up with that equipment, buying that supply. So hopefully that would
Turn into revenue.
pay for itself, and yes.
All right,
You
then,
have started or you're going to
We
start?
started last fall.
Okay.
And we've learned some stuff. We know what to sell, what not to sell, what times to sell it, when not to. So it's been a learning experience, but the idea is it's gonna turn around and make revenue.
sports complex, building and grounds, electric utilities, going from a request of $50,000 to nothing.
That's the sports complex?
On 28.
Yeah.
Bottom of 28.
Oh,
Now the event center would have been
0850202.
0202.
Spent $60,000 in '24, up to $66,000 in '25, budgeted $50,000, but there's nothing over there.
Did that fall under maintenance department?
No, if I'm not mistaken, is that not the land we're trying to sell? Cause we got rid of all the electric out there for the adult softball, the event center and all that. If I'm not mistaken, Danny, you have your own electric line,
Yeah, it was
baseball,
all had to
softball,
do with adult softball, event center,
and that's all gone, so. Yeah, we
Then,
took out both those electric panels, didn't we? Yeah.
Then over, we've already talked about the Rialto.
Is A&P tax required from the city?
Yes,
It's not from the school system.
we've been told we have to pay it.
Did Chris Howell tell you that?
The state told Steve,
we need to
the
wrap it
state told Steven he had to start doing it. What we were told from the state is that it's weird because we pay ourselves, but an association does not have to pay it. But since we took it over, we have to pay it. So, yeah, I would love not to, but we have to do it at the Rialto, Damon has to file it, and we have to do it everywhere.
for the record, I have a problem with making that statement. It makes sense to me.
Chris?
You might be getting a letter.
All right, page 30, baseball, softball.
Yes, sir.
Grounds maintenance, tools and equipment going up pretty good chunk.
Mm-hmm.
Concession supplies going up a real chunk, but again, that's hopefully generating revenue.
We had to come back last year and ask for more money, and that's just kind of, we're trying not to do that.
And in baseball, softball, it's just more expense you need for the grounds maintenance of tools and equipment.
Yes, sir. That's all it is. It's kind of balance out what we went over.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Ms. Carter, I'll have you the Rialto info tomorrow.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Any other questions for Mike? Thank you, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wiseman sitting back there, and she's minding her own business, and I'm gonna ask her a question, and Jason might be able to answer this. But the first budget proposal that I had was dated the 4th of December, and then we got the one that's dated the 9th. You see overtime has been added $5,000 in there. Is that a new concern or a new expense, or?
What page is hers?
Well, I'm on page 13 of the 2009 budget. The 2004 proposal was not numbered, and it does not include anything for overtime. And I just want, maybe you can answer this, Mr.
Yes, when I
Beard.
presented the budget, it was an aggregate number, and Roger asked me to add the overtime line so that you could see that separately, so that's why it's in the next presentation of that. It was included in the one line, but I broke it out on subsequent budgets.
Well, I went through the December 4th and the 9th proposal, and there again, it was in the one on the 9th. So I just wondered if it was a new item that needed to be addressed, or what was the reason?
We have a fair amount of overtime, when I say a fair amount, they're gonna be based on the way that the work comes through the court. You can certainly understand. There might be a little bit of overtime getting ready for court and after court. There's not a large amount of overtime. The clerks and the staff are very good about watching their time. However, from time to time, there does have to be a little bit of overtime in order to be prepared and ready for our clients or the public. So, yes, sir, there's gonna be some built in there, and I believe this current, and we receive, as you said, quarterly. I monitor it. We do not have anyone who is going to excess with it at all.
I will say, years ago, they weren't allowed to be paid overtime. Everything was added in comp time. So there was no overtime in that particular, most of the departments did not do overtime. Everything was comp time. But then over the last few years, over the discussions of comp time and keeping it in line and changing the handbook policy, and we ended up not changing it, just trying to, but we just told all of the departments, you can decide to either give them comp time or pay them overtime. And so now the ladies over there get a choice. They can either earn comp time to use later, or they can be paid the overtime. It's not excessive, but it has been just built into the salary in the years past, and so this year it is separated out, so.
Yes. The staff, each individual staff member makes their own decision how they wish to, whether carry that over or not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I understand the explanation. It just was a concern to me why it wasn't in the original budget proposal, at least the one dated the 4th.
What about your uniform request? I've not seen any uniforms.
We did finally order some. They're basically, everyone chose polo shirts. There's a couple of sweatshirts, that kind of thing. And Rachel took charge of getting them embroidered. So it's up to the ladies. Not everyone wanted something. So as far as a uniform, it simply is the insignia of the city. Anything else? Thank you all.
Thank you, Linda.
Jason, can I clarify something you said just a second ago? Like on the December 4th in the black binder, right here, we have a draft dated December 4th. And it has, I'm just turning to PD page, salaries in the 26 budget, 3994,451. And there is no, it's not, overtime is not broken out underneath that, but in the one that was here, dated January 5th, it still says 394. Oh, no, it's the 9s and 4s, 3994, 3944. You did pick, that was my question, I answered it myself. Okay, I found the 5, never mind.
Yeah, there you go.
I'd like the minutes to show that Mr. Kirkman is present.
Your voice doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I know,
It's not the budget meeting, is it?
I'm hanging in there. Any additional questions?
I've got some for your budget, Mayor. When did we put the forward Cersei $500,000 line item under your budget?
I think that was 2023. The mayor's department is kind of the catch-all. You know, so there's several things in there. If it doesn't land in, I guess, another department, it ends up just being under mayor.
Have we gotten an accounting from forward Cersei about the $500,000 we funded last year?
As far as accounting, how those funds are expended, Daryl is with us. He is with Forward Cersei. He presents a quarterly report to the council, and has since we've been under contract with Forward Cersei.
I mean, I've never seen an accounting of what the $500,000 was spent for.
We've kind of, obviously, since we're new, kind of changing some things, but we've been reporting, as far as our monthly report at the SRADC, which Matt's involved in, and we go over details, and then the budget for 25 that we did present last year to kind of give you a heads up on that, we're basically exactly on budget for that. We're about 14,000 below budget, actually. And we didn't include in that, we didn't know we were gonna get the grant for site development as well. And so our goal had been to basically maintain approximately, I think last year we decided about 225,000 in a site development fund, basically for site readiness and those things, which we didn't have to spend any of that because we received a $314,000 grant. And so in regards to, you know, quarterly updates, obviously, you know, we've maintained a budget as far as to what we proposed last year, and when we were doing the quarterly updates, we just weren't including the details on the financials, which is something that, you know, I've been communicating with Matt, just not as far as all
In
the
the
detail.
upcoming quarterly report, Daryl, do you mind to just go ahead and supply a financial breakdown?
Yeah, and we could do it just, you know, I guess our plan as we'd kind of started going through the budget was to have an annual budget and kind of look every month and see where we're at, you know, month to date, and we've maintained a pretty accurate transaction of that, so yeah.
Other than grants and the city of Searcy, does Forward Searcy take in revenue from other sources?
Well, Forward Searcy does not. The SRADC has 100 for the Future, which some of those funds are used for, you know,
Yeah.
different projects and incentives, but no. Yeah.
So you could supply us with a P&L then from Forward Searcy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions about that or anything?
No, I just think the council members ought to see what you spent the $500,000.
Absolutely,
for,
absolutely.
And what's left for
Yeah.
y'all to continue to try to entice some industry to come here.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Mayor, even if you take the $500,000 out of your budget, mayor's budget in '22 was $652,000. Take that $500,000 out of the 2026, you're $1,300,000, doubled in 4 years. You've got a supplies line item, advertising, spent $28,000 for '24, $15,680 so far this year, but you want an increase to $40,000. What's that for?
Yeah, this is, coincides with the presentation Michelle Pugh presented to the council earlier, and in addition to that, we're anticipating some additional expenses this year with the 250th anniversary of the United States. And of course, we only spend, I think you can see we're conservative, we only spend what's necessary. This past year, we did not spend the full amount because we were anticipating producing videos that coincided with some of the project development, but those projects did not get to the point where they warranted videos, but we're anticipating that this coming year. That's to keep the public informed on the progress of all the projects.
The line item right above that vehicle, you've got nothing, you're not asking for any vehicle expense?
That's right, there's no vehicles in the mayor's department. I have a stipend for using my own personal vehicle, which has been there for years, but there's no other vehicles. There was, whenever Richard was in the mayor's department as a city planner, but now that he has his own department, we have no longer a vehicle expense.
I think I ask this every year, and maybe a relabel might help my memory, but your legal expenses, is that what we have to pay the Arkansas Municipal League, or what is that for?
I believe that's accurate. Is that accurate, Jason?
Yes, I saw that bill come through a couple of weeks ago, and it was just a little under that.
Travel, training, going up from 6,100 to 12,500.
Yeah, so, anytime council members might want to go to a conference, municipal league conference, that also falls underneath the mayor's department. So we're just trying to hold those funds in case, because we never know whenever there's additional council members or others that might want to attend conferences. So I'm trying.
I'm sorry to wear you
No,
out.
you're good.
The down in building and grounds, damaged property replacement going from 45,000 to 75,000, is that for City Hall?
No, that's an estimate for damaged property. Again, that just kind of falls under the mayor's department. We never truly know what that's gonna be, until there's damaged property that has to be repaired. So that's not City Hall. Is that accurate, Jason?
That's correct. Anytime we are the cause of, a broken windshield or whatever, and we have to fix it, do an insurance claim, we get reimbursed, and then, that is our part of deductibles, and anything we have to pay toward that, to get that property repaired.
And the Vital Center repairs are more than 13,030. Are we anticipating more repairs there?
It's just an older building, and we're just, again, trying to budget as opposed to come back to the council later. Felt like we were tasked to try to anticipate, but it won't be spent unless it's needed.
What are, on the next page 9, what are discretionary funds used for? Going from 10,000 to 19,400.
Those, they purchase, the lunches for the different boards and they, you probably knows more about this than me, but the discretionary fund is what we, when I started, purchased for, the planning commission. We provide lunch for them because they give up their lunch hour to serve on the commission, and so they come at 11:30, have lunch, and then do the meeting at noon. The tree board, I don't know, some of the other boards and commissions that we provide lunch for, those funds are spent for that.
And then any really unforeseen things that pop up that we don't or can't anticipate, yeah.
We've done this for years, and I can't remember what it's for, but the Metro Little Rock Alliance.
Yeah, that, and we're part of the MLRA, the county is as well, and we work in conjunction with SRDC to be a part of the Metro Little Rock Alliance. Now, honestly, that's a key factor to economic development, to make sure that we are in sync with what the state is doing in Central Arkansas. And they send us leads.
Grants audit, $12,000.
Yeah, each year we have to do a federal audit on an audit on our federal money that we receive, and that's the cost of that audit.
Legislative audit doesn't charge us anything for the city's audit,
for the state
federal
level.
grants require that audit, and we have to audit them. Is that not correct?
That's correct, yeah, it's federal, not state.
And then special events funding going from 12,000 to 24 up to 20,000 next year.
Yeah, that's the same. Next year's the 250th of the United States, plus the 175th, I think, for Cersei, plus the 100th for the fire department. We got all kinds of big anniversaries next year. So we're just trying to budget, anticipate.
But I thought that was under didn't we say that was under
That would be
advertising?
for promotions, not actual events or activities themselves.
Got it.
What's the Metro Little Rock Alliance? I have forgotten what that is.
It's basically.
It's an association with the state for Central Arkansas to attract prospects to the Central Arkansas area. And we're a membership with that along with the county. So we just pay our portion. I believe the county pays a lot more than we do.
Yes.
Mayor, who all in the mayor's office wears uniforms?
Well, so that's actually one of the things I've gotten a lot of requests on, even from some council members, is to have some city, I don't even have anything on right now. I've personally made it myself, but to have some, whether it's a jacket or a vest or shirts with the city emblem on it for people that work at City Hall as well as the council. So we've just never had a budget for that, and so we budgeted in case the council or admin want to have some type of city branded items.
Well, my page number 8 on the December 9th is showing that it was 1,025 and it went to 5,000.
Yeah, I don't think we spent anything out of it. So I've had a few council members ask about having some items made, as well as some members of City Hall.
Mr. Rainey asked most of the questions that I wanted to ask, and I appreciate him doing that.
Just one more that I had on property appraisal. $10,000, are we anticipating needing that?
That's one of those that we don't know. So I know this past year, we had the need to appraise some property, and we have the seek funds for that. So we were just anticipating whether or not that comes up again, we'll have funds to do that. It won't be spent, of course, if it's not needed.
Yeah.
Did you address the employee assistance program? What exactly
Employee
is it?
assistance.
The EAP, that's what we pay for the mental health services. It's good to all of our employees and everybody in their household. And they can have, up to 5 sessions with the mental health, provider, per event. So like if they went through a divorce or had a death in the family, each different event, it'll pay for up to 5 visits with the mental health professional for all of our employees and everyone in their household.
Thank you. That's all I had, Mayor. Thank you.
You bet.
I've got a question about planning and development.
Okay.
Contract labor's going down from 50,000 to 10,000,
Yes, sir. What page are you on, Mr. Mayor?
38.
We didn't use the contract labor, that was added in last year is, we had 2 large grants that we went out and needed assistance on. So the idea was last year was to have that 50,000 in there in case there was another one, but they're so few and far between that I kind of felt like that should be just a council ask when a big grant comes up and we need assistance on. So we cut that back, but since we had that in there, I've been using some dollars to have scanning done of our old files. So we hire a contract, same one comes and helps Kim over here at City Hall. She comes and scans all of our files to digitize them so we can get rid of some file cabinets.
And vehicle replacement, have you got a bad vehicle in your group?
I got 3, but we're just choosing one this year. Daryl, our plumbing inspector, his truck is held together with bubble gum and duct tape, but it just didn't need to replace. It's, I think, a 2008. 7. Yeah, Jeff knows. We've been talking about that truck for a while.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have one more question. Roger Pearson. And this is just a FYI for me.
What page is that?
I'm looking at the old one. I don't know.
The 51.
51. Okay.
1551.
Okay.
Airport leases, on your page, your page looks different from others. I'm assuming airport leases is revenue here.
Yes, sir.
Your 25 budget for revenue was 75,000 and your 26 budget is 38. Why the half, why is it cut in half? Just out of curiosity.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I wish I had a good answer for you, but I don't recall doing that.
That's all we collected this year.
Oh, based on the collection,
Yeah.
but I don't know why it was,
Put in there at 75,000.
I don't know why it was put in there at 75. Actually, I do. I think we estimated a $50,000 revenue on that new hangar. That's what it was.
Okay. Just curious.
Mayor, I've slept so many nights since we did the reorganization. Now, Jeff, well, maintenance is your department now, that's correct. Who is public works?
That's Mark Lane.
Mark.
And underneath-
Where's the drainage with Jesse? What is it?
It's
called?
underneath Public Works.
Falls under public works.
Yeah, and so
also.
does streets.
It-
So that falls under the Public Works umbrella.
Thank you. I'm just having a hard time with the budget, trying to remember who's who.
Yeah.
As they say, who's who in the zoo.
Yeah.
And on Public Works, that's you, Mark, right? The $80,000, that's all that RDOT we talked about paying extra to keep the interstate intersections, the exchanges, interchanges, mode and everything?
Yes, that's the, if we choose to do that ourselves or expand.
But we don't do it ourselves, we pay the state highway department to have it done, right?
Well, so far, the state just does it.
I know.
So if we want to, we can do it either way. We can do it ourselves, we can hire a contractor, or we can pay the state. And these numbers are based on last year's, and all that may change depending on the bid that the state gets this year. So it's an estimate.
So how many times a year does the state?
3 times a year. They mow it completely once, and they mow it partially the other 2 times. Fence to fence basically once, and then the others, they just mow right along the right of way in the center. That's 3 times, and then we were proposing an additional 6 times.
Additional?
No, we're doing 8 times, I think.
Yeah,
Which is
additional
an
5 times.
Right,
That's what the 80,000.
yes, sir. Again, based on last year's bid to the highway department from contractors.
The salary budget of 25 was just under 170,000, gone up to 212,000. Do we add people to your department?
We have,
Is that public works?
in Public Works,
Yes.
that would be a request for Jesse to have a raise, and I asked for some for myself this year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
One thing, Mayor, that in every budget, we've got a cell phone. And we've talked about this before, but I don't really think we've done anything. I can't believe that the city of Searcy could not contact AT&T or Verizon, or whoever, and see if they would come analyze all of our cell phone use and make a proposal that we surely could save some money.
Most of our department heads are still carrying 2 phones, right? One, their personal phone and then a work phone. That seems like an antiquated method in today's world where you could possibly do it through an app or have a stipend, something to not carry 2 phones. That just seems, yeah. I think it's, you know, every so often you need to look at your plan. I know it's not fun and seems kind of daunting, but I think Don's right. If we could get a hold of a rep to come on site to work through this.
In the IT department, you know, we had a budget of $2,100 for 25, it's gone up to $6,100, but because we spent $5,300 of 25, I just can't believe that we couldn't get a deal with one of those big companies.
We can work on it.
Okay.
What if a municipal league has some type of program that's?
We can dig into it.
I mean, it's over 30,000 across all departments, I think. Looking at it right, which is real money.
How many people carry cell phone? How many, do we know the idea, how many we have out there right now? You know, Mayor?
Not off the top of my head, no. I personally gave mine back, so we're not even paying for mine. So I didn't want to carry 2.
There's a lot of employees that have cell phones, I should say. And we are with Verizon, but we're looking into that bill and we're going to phones and all that.
But I mean, if there's an expectation for someone to use their personal device for work, I mean, there would need to be some consideration for that.
Most of all of our iPads for our engines have a cell phone. So it's also iPads for, I think, inspectors.
Yeah.
They also have planes.
Right.
It's not really the cell phone as much as it is the iPads.
Yeah, all of our inspectors have the pads.
And y'all need them, and I
Yes, sir.
understand. I'm just saying, that surely the city could get a deal from one of those big carriers. It's a matter of analyzing it, listing cell phone numbers and all that stuff. Can we go back to Mr. Mark? Your salary budget jumped $42,000.
I believe Andy came into your department.
That's true.
I didn't think about that. We do have, the girl that makes our signs is now in
Your department.
my department.
She was off for all of 25 though.
I can't answer why I would have raised that much. I don't believe it.
It shows 169,841, and then
Page 40.
212,581, that's a difference of 42,740.
Mine says 213, I'm on the old one.
Oh, well,
It's 212.58 on December 9th.
just curious how that's splitting up between
What page is that, Tanya?
40 at the top of page 40.
It's a significant increase, so Jesse.
Maybe y'all could look at that.
Yeah, could somebody email that to us or get it to us so we can see how that breakdown is, please? Okay, thank you very much.
Have we talked about, I don't want to take this down a lot, it's my fault, just couldn't get here from work. Have we talked about police?
Yeah.
I was just curious about this veterinary supplies, not so much what it is, but I'm curious, since we didn't have Havoc, it was wrecking havoc 2 other years.
Is that the 066 line item?
Yes.
That's the ammunition.
I figured it was something that, I was just curious what it was.
All of Havoc's stuff this year was paid for with, drug dollars. So there was zero tax money went to Havoc this year.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Zero tax money went to Havoc this year, it was all drug dollars.
Because I'm sure there will be medical expenses for,
Right, we want to keep them healthy.
yeah, exactly, that's a big investment.
Hey, Chief, what is federal drug forfeiture expense?
It's money when we get a forfeiture, it goes to an account that's kind of what we use to pay for Havoc. That's just, that's an example.
So, it,
Revenue line?
it's not in a revenue line, it's in at $286,620 in an expense line.
Right, so it's, I mean, I guess you could say it's a revenue line that we expend money out of. It's,
There is a federal line in revenue.
So there's a corresponding in the revenue, okay. And just subscriptions and dues, I think you said that once, what?
that covers a lot of things. The brunt of that's gonna be the cameras, it's gonna be, I hate to say this publicly, but we don't have but 5 cars currently with GPS. So that's gonna get GPS in all of our cars. And then there's a system called Leads Online that is another large amount that goes to that. If you have a chainsaw stolen, we get your serial number if you actually have it. And we enter it into this system, and then if it pops up somewhere else, like a pawn shop, then it alerts us that it's been recovered. So those are the 3 biggest line items.
The replacement figure vehicle 432, that's what you're gonna need for next year. We're gonna try to get 10.
Right, and talking to my 2 guys that put those together, we may actually be under that. I don't wanna lower it today, but we may be able to come in under that.
Okay. But that's gonna get us back on track of replacement for you on an annual.
Right, and so
basis.
that's 8 vehicles.
Okay.
I didn't think we needed 10 this year.
Okay. And, let's see.
Steve, what's our total number of patrol vehicles?
Patrol vehicles, not counting like admin and CID, we've got somewhere in the neighborhood of, probably with spares, 35 roughly, maybe a little bit more.
Administration of justice expenses.
Mhm.
What is that?
That's kind of my catch-all, whether it's when I go over on the line item, I typically it spills over into that, or if we have like a DTF lunch, then usually that's where the meal comes out of. So it's a catch-all.
But this veterinarian supplies of 34,000, that goes to,
That's Chuck's, yes.
and that, if we didn't have him
Ms. Hale, rather, I'm sorry. I've noticed that the medical directors in police and fire both, what do they split that?
They do. He's the medical director for both.
Just the two departments
That's correct.
utilize that, okay. I agree with Ms. Rainey, it'd be a lot more if we had to pay it out.
How does range facility break out to 16,000?
So that covers everything from just maintaining the facility, whether it's replacing the boards that we hang our targets up on, to ammunition. Also covers a minimal light bill or water bill out there. It just covers anything and everything.
How are you on staffing?
Hopefully, if these raises pass, it'll help.
Chief Donovan, were y'all able to fill that position that we approved for you guys to fill? Waiting on the one that's on FMLA, were you able to do that?
We haven't yet because they're not gonna be able to go into rookie school till March, so we're hoping not to, so we just don't have, they can't really do nothing for that period of time, so we can start training them, we just don't know.
Well, we appreciate that. That, you're using that, yeah, great.
Chief, the 10 vehicle replacements, does that include all the equipment that has to go inside of it?
That's paint, stickers, equipment, that's everything, yes.
Everything, radio,
That's it. And
computers?
Yeah,
The
but you
time it
said it
dries
would be
off.
8, didn't you?
What's,
Said it'd be 8 instead of 10 now.
yes, it's 8, but yes. That
It's
includes-
8?
Yeah, we're doing 8 cars this year. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Are you able to get them?
Today.
Are
As
those
of
going in, I'm sorry, are those going in patrol this year? I know last year, did we put some in CID?
Correct. We did patrol in CID last year, and then this year, there's gonna be 6 Durangos and 2 trucks that will be utilized as admin vehicles.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for the chief? Thank you, chief.
Mr. Webb? Vehicle replacement.
What page you on, sir?
44. Vehicle replacement, $40,000. You got someone who needs a new vehicle.
Oh, yes, sir. We have about 4 of them that need to be replaced, but just trying to do one a year.
Talk to me about this autonomous mower.
What's that now?
Autonomous mower.
That's the robot mower.
Have you talked to us before about that? I
Yes,
missed it?
we have. We've talked about it. And we're still in the process of researching what kind we'd want to buy, but we needed to get this on the budget, so that's from what we've been researched so far, that's about what we've spent on it.
Where would it primarily be used?
I would say it's soccer. That's where the ideal place to use one of them is, at the soccer complex, maybe the baseball complex. That's really, we're kind of crazy not to be using them there.
You've seen the demo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you were
Oh,
telling
yeah.
me that it was super
It's
aggressive.
amazing, really,
Just like a GPS guided thing or something?
yes.
Okay.
And actually, he has a story.
I've seen them on golf courses. You go, at the courses I've been to that use them have cut their maintenance staff down to nothing. They're saving so much money on hours on mowers, just by letting these things run around all over the course, different times of the day. It's really, sort of an innovative, new thing that's getting ready to take over situations
I
like
think so.
parks and, big green spaces.
I mean, obviously, there's places we wouldn't be able to use those. A lot of places that we wouldn't be able to use them, but the places like the soccer complex and things, I think we're crazy not to do it. Really, we spend a lot of time there mowing.
Thank you.
Huh? That it?
I have a question.
Okay.
Holiday lights set up and take down, is that contract labor?
No. Well, now, hold on. Part of it is Robert Wallace, when he does those lights uptown, we pay for that out of that. And that's actually about half of that, really.
Man, it looks outstanding every year.
Thank you.
I'm telling you.
And we keep adding a little bit every year too, you know. We added some at, Yancey Park this year that I think really added to it. We'd like to do more every year.
Every time, this time of year, I come to the office early and I have to drive around the square to look at them all again.
Yeah.
It really looks good.
Any other questions for Jeff? Thank you, Jeff. Any additional questions?
I don't have any.
I'd like to reiterate what I logged, make sure that it's the same as what everybody else has. So I have down, there's a question on the revenue and expenses of the Rialto that we're gonna provide. Want to make sure that it's clear, is the council requesting the sanitation overtime be reduced from 80 to 50,000? Okay, so do you have that down, Jason? As discussed previously, the line item 5080-5301 will be reduced from 104,000 to 86,000. I believe that is for the vehicles and Parks and Recreation. And then also in 080-0217 from 5,000 to 0. And I think that was related to appraisal, okay? There was a request to provide a financial accounting report from Ford Cersei at the next quarterly meeting, or quarterly report. We'll dig into the cell phone contract as the year progresses, and then also a breakdown. I think Kim stepped out, she may be doing this right now, but a breakdown of the public works salary. Do y'all have anything else that I didn't capture? Okay. As far as approval of the budget, I know to hit payroll, that, you know, we were needing to try to get an approved budget in order to hit payroll. When Kim comes back, we can ask her about the timing of that.
Could it be ready by Thursday when we have our agenda meeting?
Yes, the answer is yes. We can certainly have it by Thursday. And I just want to confirm we can hit the payroll by then.
Yeah, will we have 6 on Thursday night?
I'll be here.
Well, yeah, because we'd have to call another special. Right. Is everybody here Thursday?
I'll be here. What date?
Thursday for the agenda meeting?
That's our agenda meeting.
Yeah, you'll be here.
What, having it right before, right
Yeah, we
after?
could, yeah, we could do it probably right before, if that's okay with y'all. Okay, so we'll shoot to have a special call meeting just prior to the agenda meeting, reflecting the changes.
I don't think I can be here before, I'll be looking at from Little Rock.
Let's do this, y'all want to do it afterward then?
I can make that up.
Let's do it after. We'll all be here anyways. And between now and then, we'll get the details of the Rialto and then the details of public works salaries. That sound good? Okay. Yes, Mike?
Do we have, what about payroll cutoff for Thursday?
Kim, if we have an approved budget on Thursday at the agenda meeting, if we have another special called meeting on Thursday, and the budget is approved, will that hit us enough time for payroll?
If I work this weekend, it will.
Well, can you start working tomorrow knowing we're gonna pass the budget on Thursday?
I mean, I have all of the payroll change notices filled out with names and things like that. I've just got to add, I've got what they're currently making, I've just got to add what they're going to and the date.
Can I ask a real quick pause? Mike, can I ask a question real quick? If we record into the minutes adjustments of sanitation, overtime, and those 2 items in Parks and Rec, are there, well, I mean, I guess we're gonna get details. So we're still pending the details of Rialto.
Public Works
So,
is in question as well.
okay.
But once those are completed, they have to, the employees sign them and their supervisors sign them, and then they come back and they have to all be entered into Encode. And she'll process payroll. Typically, she starts on Monday and has it done by Tuesday, but it has to be done by Wednesday because direct deposit, have to have 48 hours, so.
So could you work on all of those except for the couple departments that we were wanting? I mean,
I don't have a lot to do, the entering them into Encode, once they're signed and come back is the most time consuming part, but
So-
we will make it work to get everybody ready on their next check.
It may be a question for Mr. Morgan. Could we vote on approving the salaries tonight and let them get started on that without the full budget being passed? Is that acceptable to people, and can we do that?
We did that last year, but if you've got a few of them in question, I would hesitate to do that. We'll make it work. We'll figure it out. Y'all, that's it. Thursday, we will have their raise on their check next week.
Thank you. Yes, Mike?
The Rialto salary part wasn't in question, was it? Just you wanted to
No,
see
it was
the
the-
so it would just be public
It was
works.
the net from revenue and expense, I think is the question. If there's a $100,000 discrepancy from years prior, I think the only real question is gonna just be breakdown of what works. Okay, so I'm gonna reiterate, we're gonna call a special call meeting, Thursday, just following the agenda meeting, okay? So we'll get that out to the public. Any additional, actually, yeah, we had one quick, Richard, do you wanna give a quick update? I know this was timely. So this is not an agenda item, but it is a timely update for the council while we're here.
Yeah, I just wanted to actually just share some good news with you all. I know right before Christmas, the last meeting, I said that we're gonna get our GMP, guaranteed max price, presented to us right before Christmas. So wanted to share that with you, that we got that number, and that number is good. And it is within our, estimated construction number. It's well within our allotted bond funds. So I'm happy to report to y'all that we are able to deliver what exactly we promised without any major cuts to the South Main projects with the amount that the voters voted on, so.
And that paperwork will be signed tomorrow,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Can you send that out, or have a copy for Thursday so we can just review the numbers?
Sure, we can do that. I'll send it
I'd
to
just
you.
like to see them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then also just as a reminder, the Friday meetings, are they still Friday with the new year? With
Yes.
CDI and all that?
Yes. Oh, yeah, well,
Well, there's
Well,
one tomorrow.
yeah. Yeah, there's
Well,
still.
anyways, y'all are all, council members are more than welcome to come, so.
Yeah, and
if
this
y'all
was-
have interest, come to those meetings. They're
And-
very interesting.
Thursday I was gonna mention too, but we're gonna set up a time, probably in the next few weeks to get a time for you also kind of be thinking of a schedule. We wanna get y'all out on site. CDI wants to give you a little walk around the site tour. Concrete's being poured this week, so, we want y'all out there to see some of the progress, so, just be thinking of a time. I'll mention it again on Thursday.
Can you do the call meeting before the agenda meeting?
I'm sorry.
Can you do the call meeting before the agenda meeting?
Mr. Kirkman can't be here.
We would have, as long as, Mr. Kirkman, as long as you're okay, would that give you more time to start entering?
When do we have, do we have 6 without?
We would have 6 as long as all of us are here.
I think we got 6, let's do it.
All right, then we'll do it at the beginning.
Okay.
And then that way it'll give you a little bit more time.
5 or 4 now? 5.
It'll be at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
We'll have our special council meeting Thursday at 5, and we'll roll straight into the agenda meeting
I
following.
was confused, you'd mentioned 4 earlier, so
Yeah.
5.
Refresh my memory who CDI is or where they're from.
That's our contractor, CDI contractors. They're out of Little Rock. Yeah.
Thank you, Richard. All right, any
I
further?
would say wait, but I'm not anticipating a close vote on this. I think everybody's trying to move this thing forward, so I'm just trying to make sure we're practicing good stewardship.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, if there's no further comments, we are adjourned.
See you, Chris.
Oh, if y'all get a chance, look at